Ladies and gentlemen, this is the moment I've been waiting for. Oh my god, Attack on Titan has finally gone full circle. This is one of the best episodes of the entire series. I think we've had that, 3 times in a row now? This is absolutely phenomenal. I mean, already you see on Twitter, it's trending, the rumbling is here. The opening song spoiled us all that it was gonna happen, and I wanted to make a video on that initially, by the way, but I didn't want to spoil people on that stuff. So with that being said, this episode is titled From You 2,000 Years Ago. The first episode is titled To You in 2,000 years. Once again, Isayama has proved that he is able to write stuff just really good. Big good. He has big brain. So, oh my god, I can't wait to talk about this episode. Let's go ahead and talk about it. And while you're at it, thumbs up the video, damn it. This is awesome. So the episode starts off with a little bit of a recap, the Frida versus Grisha recap, basically the first, basically whatever the last couple minutes of last episode was, we pretty much see that again. And honestly, it's still pretty brutal to see just how much Grisha was able to brutalize Frida. That was some gnarly and brutal stuff, but as well, I've seen this comment last couple of episodes or so. Well, no, I guess really this whole part, a lot of people are saying, they're very mad because the first portion of these episodes, sometimes they basically just replay the events of the last episode. I don't really get that complaint, but I want to ask you guys in the comments below. But the reason why I don't get it is because tons of other anime do this. Like, this isn't really a new thing. I guess it is just a tad bit different in the sense that they're showing a little bit more than what they'd usually show. Like, typically when anime do this like recap at the beginning of the episode, it's usually like 20 to 30 seconds. This, of course, was a whole sequence. This was pretty much nearly all of the scene from the last episode. So I guess I could get that in that sense because it may seem like they're trying to fill time. But as you see in this episode, they are totally delivering. I think the pace is completely on point, and I actually kind of do like these recaps at the very beginning because it gives a little bit more context to what's going on in the episode overall. That being said, honestly, I would like if they would take a kind of Netflix style of presentation where, how Netflix, I'm not saying Netflix adaptation, no, I'm not saying that. I do think it would be cool, like if Attack on Titan wasn't beholden to time length, so they were able to, instead of telling, a chapter or 2 chapters in an episode, they were able to tell 4 or 5 if they wanted to do that. I think that would be interesting. So Zeke finally, he's not trying to figure out, he's trying to really understand why Grisha gave Eren the power of the attack and the founding Titan, even though he kind of figured out from Eren Yeager's memories that he needed to have, he couldn't use the powers and he needed someone of royal blood to activate them. What I like that we finally give context on, though, is that Eren talks about with Zeke about how 4 years ago he touched Historia and what he saw was essentially his own future, which explains his frightened face and stuff like that. And that's pretty much what I surmised in one of my recent videos, that Eren saw his own future and what he was going to do pretty much to make sure he gets his way. So Zeke tells Ymir to euthanize the Eldians, and so begins her march. Zeke calls Eren powerless, but as he's doing this is a really cool scene. He starts to essentially rip off his thumbs to break free of the chains, and even then Zeke is like, there's nothing you can do. Once Ymir starts going forward, you can't stop that. And she's going to keep going. Except that's not the case. It seems like at every point, though, Zeke has just been proven wrong. Like, it's the Uno reverse card meme. Literally, again, it's the continuation of that in this episode. Zeke is just, from the very beginning of at least the last or the episode before then, he's just been proven wrong constantly. And it's kind of sad. I want him to get a dub, but he's just catching L's. So we see the retelling of Historia with Frida from season 3. I like this, that they retold this again, because not only do we get to see another brief glimpse of what it would be like to have MAPPA adapt those first 3 seasons instead of WIT Studios. Also in the context and visual style of presentation of season 4, but as well, it's used again to reintroduce Ymir's backstory, which I think is a really good use of this. They did the same thing in the manga, I believe, as well. And it was phenomenal then. It's phenomenal now. I really love this stuff. I think it's a powerful thing to do to call back on nostalgia, but as well to call back on previous thematic and just general scenes to give it a new style of presentation, to give it a new meaning. And that is something that is always great to see in Attack on Titan. So we get to see the backstory of Ymir. And Ymir was always a girl that would live for others, which is a theme that plagues Ymir's existence. She is a slave to King Fritz, as we see, but as well, she's kind of just a slave to anybody, it really seems. She's not free in any sense or context, which I think is really interesting when you juxtapose that with Eren's character, because Eren is all about freedom, but for Ymir, it's something different. And I think the first time we see that in her life is when she is blamed for freeing the pigs, and everybody just points the finger at her, and it's like, do they even know that she freed the pigs? It doesn't really matter. The fact is that she was blamed for something, I think, rather unfairly, with no due process, and, well, she is turned free by King Fritz, but not in the free that you would think. She's basically free to be hunted down by his soldiers, his bowmen, and guard dogs, which is brutal. She's shot in the shoulder by an arrow, and then in the leg, and she falls. She trips over a flower, and there's some blood on the flower. She's bleeding from her head. It's really sad stuff. You don't want to see Ymir like this, because she's just a cute little girl. That's really it. And it kind of sucks to see this little girl who is, visually speaking, she is designed perfectly, by the way. Her design is phenomenal. She is designed to be this very aesthetically nice, looking little girl that won't do anything bad, right? She looks like holistic. She, wears the headband in her hair. She's got straight hair. She looks innocent. And I think that's what they're trying to do with her design. So I think as well, I think that part was perfect, the design they gave Ymir, because immediately she doesn't say much, but you know that you like her. You know that you want to see good things happen to her, because you're like, wow, this little girl, she looks absolutely adorable and precious. And that, my friends, I mean, this has been all throughout Attack on Titan and anime as a medium, but this is why designs are important. And that's why when you have, shows like World's End Harem or something like that has really awful designs, you're not into the characters as much. And I think Attack on Titan is a great example of just having cool designs, or having designs that maybe not stand out but fit the character perfectly, so that even though they don't stand out, when you look at them, you immediately get what the character is supposed to be. So while Ymir is being hunted, she goes to the base of a tree and she falls into the basin of the tree. Apparently there's some underwater current or cave system or something like that, and she falls into the basin and an organism attaches to her spine, and we find out Ymir is the first Titan. I mean, we kind of knew that from the very beginning, but you get my point. We find out that Ymir is the first Titan. Well, I guess we see it happen. And her design, we talk about designs, it is the complete opposite of her normal human form. She's ripped to the gills, by the way. She look a real jacked baby, as Booker T would say. She has the skull face. She's got tendrils. She's got coming out from her rib cage. And like I said, she's ripped, and she's bigger than the colossal Titans and seemingly more mobile. Absolutely frightening. And I love the implementation of her hair and her design. She looks like, it really looks, honestly, you take away the creepy stuff, it really just looks like she did a really big glow up. I mean, honestly, it looks a glow up and a grow up. And she just looks like, honestly, like her body at the very least. So she looks like a regular adult woman, but it's the creepy stuff that added onto it that I think is really cool, and it makes this Titanized version of Ymir really stand out. But sadly, even though she has all of this power now to do what she wants, she can literally be anything she wants. Ymir, for some reason, this always boggled my mind with Ymir, but she chooses to live still for other people. She basically becomes King Fritz's kind of right-hand woman, his wife. Basically, her reward for getting this power, and the fact that she has to get a reward anyways is like nauseating to me, is King Fritz's seed. That's right, his babies, or his baby batter. Disgusting, absolutely disgusting, even though we see one of the first thing Ymir sees is like him marrying one of the village people and making out with them, tongues out and everything, and disgusting. And he's like old at this point too, and Ymir's like however old she is at this point. She's a little bit older, but she's, you know, she's like, what? She looks like she's 14, 15, like way too young, by the way. So weird, creepy dude. But it's sad, man. It's very sad. With all of Ymir's efforts, it's all of King Fritz's gain. And even worse is that Ymir even saves King Fritz from an assassination attempt when I'm going to try to do my best Assassin's Creed impression. Assassin! I tried. I'm not a voice actor. I used to be, but not anymore. She dies. Not only does she die, though, my friends, as I turn the page of my notes, she's fed to her daughters. Cannibalism. This is really weird at this point. I'm thinking, like, what the hell's going on? Why is she being fed to her daughters? And her sons, I guess, too. But anyway, she's fed to Maria, Rose, and Sheena. And well, hey, SeaTactics, those names are a little familiar. Oh yeah, you're right, because that's the name of the walls that protect humanity on Paradis. The walls created by the Wall Titans, the Colossal Titans. King Fritz demands it to be that her blood is not to die. We also, I think we learn in this episode that she basically is the one who creates all the Titans' forms and stuff. Or was that did we learn that a couple episodes ago? I forget. I'm always forgetting things in these episodes. Ugh. But even then, Eren tells Ymir that she isn't a slave. She's not a god. She's just human. And Eren's completely right in this. I mean, she's just a little girl, man. Like she just made the wrong choices, and she's not anyone's slave. She's not meant to serve others. She's meant to serve herself. And we just got done talking about the Demon Slayer episode from Day. Go check it out on my channel if you haven't already. It's already got a bajillion views, but in case you haven't watched it, please go watch it. This is pretty sad for Ymir that she feels she needs to dedicate herself to other people. But the point is to live for yourself. The point is to find your own happiness, the pursuit of happiness. And Ymir obviously just didn't do that. She felt maybe in her mind, I'm guessing, that the way to happiness is through making other people happy, which I'm going to give you a piece of life advice. We're going to have some life advice tactics on this video. Don't do that. Don't live for yourself. And if you do find yourself in a situation like that, you got to take stock and you got to figure out why you're doing that. And that's where I'd recommend getting a little bit of therapy or consultation. I do therapy. It's great. Helps me work out stuff. Anyways, Eren says that he's going to put an end to this world and that she's been waiting 2 years. Jesus Christ, definitely not 2 years. 2,000 years for someone to come and finally set her free. Well, I guess she's finally free. Maybe? Well, her eyes, we see her eyes, by the way, finally. And she's clenching her teeth. You can see all of her teeth, and she's crying, and she's got these really pretty eyes. I like how they made them as distinctly pretty as they possibly could, while at the same time having this face of pain and anguish, like she's about to do something, right? She's about to do something that goes against other people's wishes to finally do something that she wants to do. And Eren Yeager has been the person that she's been waiting for, which makes me think, if she is the founding Titan herself, does that mean that she saw this conclusion coming? Does this mean that she knew who Eren Yeager was after she got the spinal thing to turn into the first Titan? These are so many interesting thoughts, theories, and the like, and I would love to hear your thoughts and opinions about that down in the comments below if you haven't already commented. I'm just gonna say right now, guys, we're gonna have a lot of videos throughout the week, so if you haven't already, be sure to hit that subscribe button. I don't ever ask that in these videos, but I feel like it's necessary because I'm gonna try to explain it the best I could. I know the last couple of videos have been duds for some people, but I promise these next videos are gonna be as good as we can get them. So Eren's head reattaches to his body because of the spine thing. Oh, there's a name for it. They had it in the little card thing, but it's not translated for where I'm viewing it, so I can't remember the name of it at the moment. Somebody please put it in the comments below. I want to call it the symbiote for some reason. I don't know why. It's a Spider-Man thing. So the rumbling, it's here. Like I said, the opening spoiled it for all of us. You fools. Why would you ever watch the opening for when it has spoilers, that is? I think this is the only season of Attack on Titan Titan that's had a very spoiler-heavy intro. I would have loved it if they created like different visuals, and then on this episode, they play that opening, the one that we get now, because that would be really cool. You got 2 different versions as well. Plus, you got, the hype of the first version of the opening, and you got the second, the second volley, so to speak, and you get the extra hype. So they cut back to Mikasa and Armin. They can barely hear each other. I love that detail. Can't wait for all the memes to come out about that. That's going to be really good. Looking at you, r/Attack on Titan and Shinjeki no Kyojin. Eren's Titan abomination form. That's another Spider-Man thing, right? Abomination? Jesus Christ. No, that's the Hulk, right? Abomination? Guys, I am not up to date on my MCU. Haven't even seen the new Spider-Man film yet. But we see Eren's new form, Attack Titan form. It's just a big rib cage that looks like a fish or something. Like, absolutely horrifying. We see his face too. His face looks like something straight out of Berserk. Jesus, that is some creepy stuff. But as I clear my throat, they surmise that Eren is on their side until they realize these are way too many Titans that Eren called upon, and then they hear it. They hear Eren's voice, and Eren is talking to all of them, and he says, "I'm going to exterminate everyone outside of Paradis because you threatened peace, because you threatened freedom, because every one of you people," he's cutting now a WWE promo at this point, "you people wanted to destroy Eldia. But this Sunday at SummerSlam, or I guess it would be WrestleMania, this Sunday at WrestleMania, I'm gonna eliminate all of you. Have fun." That's basically what happened. Come on. Guys, this episode was phenomenal. I want to hear your thoughts down in the comments below. I adored this episode. I actually didn't, so the chapter, people know this already, maybe new viewers don't, but I already covered this part of the manga before. Like, I read through this one time. I didn't like it as much as this. I think the anime adaptation did this part a little bit better, because I think it's just really cool to see the Ymir stuff adapted. I think it's finally cool to see the rumbling animated, because in the manga, it's still panels. You don't get animation in the manga. So in some ways it's better, of course. So this is great. Dude, this season has been phenomenal so far, and it only gets better, man. It's only getting better. So we'll see if next week we can go for a 4 for 4 with it being the best episode of Attack on Titan ever. I think this one is the best episode of Attack on Titan ever. And I didn't think I was going to go to this episode saying that. Am I wrong? Do you guys think differently? Please put down in the comments below. Check back throughout the week to see all the videos that I uploaded more about this episode, talking more in depth about it. With that being said, as my voice is going out because I've been recording stuff all day, thanks for watching, everybody. Go check out my Demon Slayer videos if you haven't already, and I love you all. See you next week. Bye-bye.